This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumph's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Today is Wednesday, November 18th.
Well, after an 8-day trial, a Pahrump jury has found Cole Ingleson guilty of first-degree murder for the slaying of 3-year-old Yesenia Camp on July 15th of 2017. The then 350-pound Ingleson stood accused of beating his girlfriend's 37-pound daughter to death. The victim's injuries included a skull fracture, hemorrhages in both eyes, lung damage, and dozens of bruises and other injuries all over her body. Nye County District Attorney Chris Arabia says this case is devastating to people who have never even met little Yesenia. So it's impossible to imagine how devastating this has been to her mother, sister, and brother. Arabia adds that he just hopes that her family can find some closure and that Yesenia somehow knows that she wasn't forgotten.
The district attorney, Chris Arabia, personally tried this case himself, along with his chief deputy, for the same reason that he says he presented about 33 witnesses and hundreds of exhibits. The DA says he has had to be sure to make the best possible case that he could, and if that meant he had to go into court and fight for someone like little Yesenia, that's what he was going to do. During his closing argument, Arabia reminded the jury about Yesenia's joy at squirting water out of her rubber ducky at her brother during bath time the night before she died. At that moment, he said, her life expectancy was about 80 years. He then told the jury it turned out that was only about 18 hours. The jury got the case in the early afternoon of November 16th, the 8th day of the trial, and arrived at its verdict in just over 2 hours, Arabia said. Ingleson could receive a life sentence of imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Sentencing will take place on February 1st, 2021 at 9 a.m. in Department 2 of the Pahrump District Court.
And as of today, there has been confirmed one new death related to COVID-19. The deceased was a resident of Pahrump. There was 8 new COVID-19 positive test results reported and confirmed by this morning's email, 6 in Pahrump and 1 in Tonopah and 1 in Smoky Valley. Overall, there has been 1,078 confirmed cases of COVID-19 positives countywide since the first reported case in March. Serenity Health is providing a drive-up COVID testing for Nye County and surrounding communities. Testing in Pahrump is now Monday from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., Wednesday and Friday 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. in the Calvada Eye at 2280 East Calvada Boulevard. Gabby Cruz, the owner of Serenity, sent an apology regarding recent testing, stating that the residents had been turned away because they ran out of test swabs on Monday night. Cruz says that they have recognized their mistakes and are preparing for a better, well-managed and planned-out approach for testing from here on out.
We'll have more News 25 coming up right after the break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. Optum Care Network of Nevada, offering Medicare Advantage members more than 3,000 primary and specialty care providers throughout the state.
Welcome back. We're happy to have you with us tonight. Well, Tesla will be added to the S&P. Retail sales take a downturn in September, and price gougers on Amazon will pay the cost. No more now from the business world.
Topping our news, Tesla is charging onto the S&P 500 index. The electric car company will be added December 21st. The stock has been trending high enough to propel Tesla CEO Elon Musk to become the 3rd richest person with a net worth of around $117 billion. Retail sales took an unexpected downturn last month. Retail sales rose just 0.3% of 1.6% in September. Some companies selling hand sanitizers, face masks, and hazmat suits at excessive prices during the pandemic on Amazon have been caught. New York's Attorney General is fining 3 Amazon sellers for price gouging. That includes selling 2-liter bottles of Perel for up to $129. It normally sells for $35 or less. CNBC spotted a mask selling for close to $200.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, Nye County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to identify a suspect in a burglary case. This morning at approximately 4 a.m., a suspect burglarized a local business, the Coyote Corner on the south end of town. These photographs are preliminary of the suspect from surveillance footage. If you can identify this male, you can call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. The suspect is described as a white male adult wearing blue jeans and a blue hoodie with a black knitted hat and a black backpack. He fled on Kellogg Road westbound. If you want to call the Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000, you can remain anonymous.
Nye County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man allegedly involved in child pornography.
On November 3rd, Nye County Sheriff's Office received a report in reference to child pornography. The report discovered the alleged trading of sexually explicit videos and images by Raymond Louvian. Louvian requested images via cell phone and allegedly exchanged explicit images and video of himself and a child victim. On November 10th, a search warrant was executed. Contact was made with Louvian and he was read his Miranda rights. Louvian allegedly admitted to requesting sexually explicit images and said he had received nude video and images. Louvian admitted to living in Pahrump when he received the messages and then deleted them from his cell phone. Louvian was arrested and transported to Nye County Detention Center for booking. Sheriff's deputies discovered a conversation beginning in April of 2020 between Louvian and the victim. Nude photos were also allegedly discovered, as well as messages asking her to send nude photos and perform sexual acts on him. Louvian said that he would come visit the juvenile to have sex with her, and she told him that he will have to get a hotel room, and she further stated that she would have to say that she was staying somewhere else. Louvian was arrested for use of a minor under 14 to produce pornography, promotion of sexual performance of a minor under 14, attempted incest, attempted lewdness by a person over 18 with a child, and luring a child to engage in sex.
Well, at the September 15th Board of County Commissioners meeting, the board voted to move forward on investigating the refinance of the bonds that were associated with building the Nye County Correctional Center.
The board approved the costs associated with refinancing the general obligation consolidated tax refunding bonds that secured the financing to build the Nye County Jail. The principal amount of the bond is $18,825,000. Refinancing the bonds would save Nye County $4.6 million. Municipal Advisor John Peterson of J&A Consulting Group presented the results of an RFP that was sent out in response to an approval made in a September BOCC meeting to investigate the refinance. The best RFP response came from Nevada State Bank. The refinance would be at a rate of 1.93% over the next 20 years, with a payoff being in August of 2040. Peterson did say that there is a variable rate component to the refinance payable between 2036 and 2040 that is locked at 2.07%. This rate is good for 15 years, but after that it would be subject to a variable reset. Peterson said that the county is protected by state law that limits the maximum interest rate to the 20 bond index plus 3%, making the maximum payable interest 5.24%. The bond refinance could close December 10th, and all of the costs of the refinance would come from the proceeds of the bond. There would be no additional costs.
More News 25 coming up after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And welcome back. One of the great things that the Pahrump Rotary Club does for the community is build ramps for those that have difficulty returning to their home after an accident, injury, or change in physical ability. News 25 spoke to club member Bill Austin about why the club chooses to help in this way and how happy it makes the homeowner.
Oh, we've been doing it several years, and we all just love doing it. It helps people get home from the hospital and get away into their house, you know, and gives us something good to do. So we get a pretty good crew going. We get them done usually in a day anymore. We got rained out Saturday. Everyone's a little bit different. We kind of keep the same idea going. You got, you know, ramp, and then the rest of it's your platform to get in, you know. Some have a platform, some don't. Oh, they're just so happy. I mean, it just makes their day. This guy, they showed him pictures of it, and he was very happy about, you know, getting a ramp and having somewhere to sit outside, you know, and enjoy the view of Mount Charleston up there. And yeah, they're very happy. Makes our day.
Well, the race continues to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. Several vaccines are in various stages of research, and some are starting to break away from the pack, according to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Daniel Culver.
There are a number of vaccines currently in advanced stage clinical trials, what we call stage 3 clinical trials, which are really the last stage before application for approval to the FDA.
There are 4 vaccines, in particular, inching their way towards the finish line for approval, hopefully in the weeks ahead. 2 of those are RNA-based vaccines, using a novel strategy that's new to vaccine development. 2 others are using a viral vector, where a cold virus acts as a type of Trojan horse to attack infection. Dr. Culver says if one of the vaccines receives emergency use authorization from the FDA, we may hear about an approval in December. High-risk populations like first responders and healthcare workers are likely to receive the vaccine first. If all goes well, the general population may have access in the second or third quarter of 2021.
We probably will want to proceed with multiple vaccines. We still don't know the durability of the vaccines. We still don't know how these will work in relatively uncommon populations, immunocompromised populations, people at the extremes of age. And so I don't think we can bank on any one of these, even if it's the first one that looks effective, to be the one that will ultimately be the best for people.
Dr. Culver reminds us the vaccine information we've heard in the news is still preliminary and should be taken with a grain of salt. He says it's still too early to know whether any of the vaccines being studied will be effective and durable against coronavirus.
We're going to head back on down to Desert Haven Animal Society and meet an animal looking for their forever home. Let's go meet Pretty Boy.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25, and I'm no Cesar Romero, but I know a good boy when I see one. And I saw one this afternoon at Desert Haven Animal Society. His name's Pretty Boy, and man, this is all dog. He is a good boy. He's kind of shy, though, and didn't really like all the people hanging around him, but what a sweet boy. And he's a pit mix. He's cream and kind of brown. Looks handsome, strong. You want to feed him a cheeseburger and hang out with him all day. Anyway, Desert Haven Animal Society, that's where you come and find Pretty Boy and all his friends. They're off Siri, just off of Basin behind the Nye County Courthouse. Why don't you come on down and find a new home for Pretty Boy and be that home for that forever home for this bud. He's a great dog. All right, back to you. I don't know, what do you say out there?
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25. We're on location at Highway 160 right across from Saddle West. It's Quality Signs and Designs. And these nice folks tell you what they're doing for Thanksgiving. They are donating a complete turkey dinner to a contest winner. And basically, what you do is a Facebook contest. You go on Facebook, you find Quality Signs and Designs, and you tag yourself in the post about the free turkey dinner. You share the post, and then you're entered to win. That guy's excited. He's honking because he wants a turkey dinner. Don't you know? We'll tell you about the weather and everything you can expect this next weekend when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studio. And today in history, 1949, Jackie Robinson was the first black to win the MVP in professional baseball. Way to go, Jackie Robinson, number 42. Peace for life. Up in Fernley, let's take them out to the ballpark and heat them up all the way to 55 degrees. That's perfect hot dog temperature. 30 degrees for a low up in Fernley. Out in Fallon, 59 degrees was your high mark today, 29 for a low. Carson City, quite a bit colder. What are you doing down there to make it so cold? 49 degrees. You left the fridge door open. Yeah, see? 32 degrees was your low. Tonopah, 58 degrees was a high today. 28 rather for a low. Out in Goldfield, you saw as much as 61. Way to go. 29 for a low. And in Beatty, you saw 70 degrees for a high mark, 40 degrees for a low. Amargosa, titch warmer, 74 as we head south. was your high mark, 44 for a low in Las Vegas, all the way up to 80 degrees. And people won't be complaining about that. No, sir. 52 degrees for low tonight. Out in Death Valley, not too bad, 88 degrees and 55 for low. As we look at our local temperatures, currently about 67 degrees. And we saw as much as 74 today here in beautiful paradise of Pahrump. The wind is windy, gusty, blustery. What can I say about it? 22 mile per hour gusts. Average wind speed is about 12 miles per hour. So it blows and then it blows harder. 22% humidity, not trouble. Makes little clouds, not too bad. Sunrise this morning at 6:24 a.m., set about an hour ago at 4:33 p.m. We'll see a low tonight of about 46 degrees. Those winds continue to batter us out of the east-southeast to 12 miles per hour, and the humidity making it a little bit swampy, but nobody thinking about rain. That's all right as we head on into the week. Looks also typically dry and not too terribly exciting. Well, let's see, we're going to get a little bit of wind on Saturday and maybe an increase in temperatures, but basically our highs are staying in the upper 60s. Our lows will be in the low 40s and upper 30s. We see a little bit of cloud on Friday, and other than that, it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. I think we can all make plans to have large fun. Won't that be good? We could all use some of that. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna and Missy.
All right. Thanks so much, John. Tommy is here. Hi, Tommy.
He's been here the whole time, running around by our feet. We were afraid he was going to bark, but he was a good boy.
He was a good boy. Tommy's here to tell you guys about the fundraiser for Never Forgotten happening this Sunday from 3 to 7 p.m. at Sullivan's. And the band Ear Candy is going to be performing. It's right there on Mesquite Avenue. If you would like to come watch the band and even participate, they're having a little jam session. You can do that at Sullivan's Bar and Pub. And they're going to be taking different pet supplies like food for dogs and cats, cat litter, and even monetary donations. So come on by Sullivan's this weekend. John said he might even join too.
Yeah, he's going to play some music.
There you go. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.
Good night.